who it is. This is a brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us goes down, we have another, and another, and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody, light me up.
It's time to huddle up. It's the Turf District Podcast. Welcome back to the Turf District, where we huddle up to talk all things Edmonton Elks and the CFL. And thank you so much for joining us, whether you're joining us live on YouTube and or Twitch. Possibly you've downloaded the podcast, or maybe you're listening to us on Edmonton Sports Talk Radio. Thank you so much for taking the time out to spend with us. We are very excited as we get closer and closer to tailgate. We are but a mere 13 days away, somewhere in that range. It's getting very, very close. So very, very exciting. Let's bring in our gang for this evening, starting with Superfan Mike. There you are.
Here I are.
How are you?
Good. It's been a few weeks.
It has been. Yes, I'm glad you are back off the one show
off
list.
The one show list. Yep.
And unfortunately, Kayla is now on the one show list. Right. So, everyone is like, when does Andrew go on the one show list so that we don't have to listen to that guy? Anyway, I'm glad that
can be Kayla.
Here. That's right. That could be Kayla. How's your last few weeks been? How was your Easter?
Oh, it was great. Spend time with family, had some good food. And then we actually went out and saw a comedian with some friends on Sunday night. So Fantastic. It was kind of fun. Yeah. And then my son started his first foray into tackle football today. So that starts. Nice. So it's about Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he's hoping he can be a DB this year. So, we'll see how it goes.
Well, I have a feeling we have somebody who we know that might be able to give some pointers. You never know.
Absolutely.
It's good to lay this out now. That's exciting, right? Those first few games.
Yeah.
You're just like, watch this happen. Yeah. All right.
No, don't get hurt, running,
but have a lot of time. Have a great time. Yeah. Exactly. I noticed that you went to the Lingnon on Sunday.
Yes, that was right before
I was both
the show.
Very happy for you and jealous at the same time.
Yeah, it was fun. I haven't been in 30 years. It's been forever. So
good.
The restraining order's finally wearing off, so it's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have the same thing at Commonwealth. It's free now. I can go in. I'm pretty good.
The owner kept walking around just watching me.
That's right. Let's make a reminder before we bring our guest in. Please add your comments and questions into wherever you are watching the show, and we will try to get some of those in for our guest. Also, because I just want to make sure that I throw this in early, check out the store, zazzle.ca/store/turf_district_shop. Get all your gear there, much like this one for the Turf District tailgate. And stay tuned. Near the end of the podcast, we have some new items in the store that I would like to show you, and also we will have the reveal, shall we say, of this year's tailgate logo. So keep on tuning in after this amazing interview. Let's get to our guest, shall we? Because I am very excited to have him here. We get to introduce one of the new players that joined the Elks through free agency. He is a 6-year CFL veteran and 3-time Grey Cup champion. That
impressive.
Is a 50% win rate is pretty good. Very excited to welcome to the show, Royce Metchi-Yay. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Doing great. I am so glad that we could connect with you. I've heard nothing but amazing things about how you are as a player, but also how you are off the field. But tell us a little bit about the decision to come out west and join the Green and Gold.
Well, honestly, it was a pretty easy decision. I don't know, free agency was like rolling around, and I started thinking, okay, wouldn't it be nice to stay at home, because I'm from GTA, to play in front of everyone. But a little part of me has always said, if I get the chance, I would love to go back to Alberta. And this time around, it just seemed like, everything was more aligning a little bit more north of where I was used to.
Yeah.
you know, with like Coach Killam, but like even like, you know, JC coming back, and it was like a lot of people are coming to Edmonton. It just felt right, you know, like sometimes when the universe is just kind of pushing you in direction.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was even sometime last year, for some reason, I was like, yeah, you know what? Green was always one of my favorite colors growing up. But like, I never got to wear green. But like, as the year kept on going, I ended up just like acquiring more and more green hoodies and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I still love green. Free agency came around, Edmonton came calling. I was like, wow, you know what? Maybe this is it. And here we are.
The
Thank
universe
goodness it's the
puts you
proper
right.
shade of green. That's the
Yeah.
important part.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were born in Nigeria.
Yes,
When
I
did
was.
you come to Canada, and how did you get into football?
So my family and I, we moved here when I was in grade 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we spent quite a little bit of time in Africa, and when we moved here, it was the funniest thing about like football, or like my story, it was a little different. I'd actually learned about football when I was in Africa. I had this one friend of mine. He was a mixed kid also, half Japanese, half Ghanaian, and we were living in Ghana. So his grandparents used to like ship from Japan like some comic books down to him, like some mangas and all of that. And one day, like one of the shipments had this one manga. It was called Ice Shield 21, and it was a football one. But like it was in Japanese, so like he would read it, he would kind of like translate it to me, but like I would just look at the pictures, and I was like, man, I've never seen this sport, like, but like it looks interesting, you know? Like it just caught my attention. Unfortunately, we only got the one book, so I never knew what happened in the next chapter. So for like a couple of years, I was just out of my mind. And then when we finally moved here, we played football, but like we played soccer, and that's what we called football.
Right.
My oldest brother Miles, he was like starting in high school, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go try out for a football team. So I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, like let me go see what football is, you know, let's see how like the football competition is. So after school, I'd like run over to like the high school. I get there, I'm like, wait a minute.
This
Football team's not out here. What's going on? But then like he had signed up for American football. Like his coaches come in for American football. I was like, okay, I've seen this before, but I couldn't really, put my finger on it. So like once in a while when I could, like whenever like I get out of school like early enough, or like their practice went late enough, I'd like run over, I'd ride my bike, I'd skateboard over to high school, like his high school, and just kind of watch. And then yeah, that's kind of how we got into it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to sort of pick up the rules?
Oh, it took me a while. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely took me a while.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, a lot of my friends and former teammates would attest that it probably took me a little longer than most. But athleticism, a little bit of anger, and I got it.
Goes a long way.
Goes a long way.
Yeah. Well, obviously you figured it out because you ended up getting drafted by another team down south who shall
Let's
remain
not even
nameless.
talk about them.
Exactly. So you were drafted in 2018. Do you remember draft day?
Yeah, I do actually. For some reason, like I don't know why, but draft day, the morning started, and like we knew it was draft day. We kind of had plans. We're all gonna, meet up and have like go get some wings, in the evening, watch the draft and everything. But one of my buddies, he was like, man, I got to go down to Niagara. I got to go pick up, like, I think he was buying, like, some subs or something for his car. And he was like, I got to take this drive. I'm like, yeah, I got nothing to do. Let's do it. So, like, 4 of us, I think it was like 4 or 5 of us, got in the car. We drove down to Niagara, spent the day in Niagara, And I honestly, it was great because it kind of took my mind off, like, the anticipation of the draft and everything. By the time we got up, it was like, all right, we just got to clean up. We'll go to dinner, meet up with everyone. And we're just sitting there, just waiting. And then the TV turns on, and we're like, okay, here we go. Here we go. And from then, it was history.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's funny. Now, I find it interesting that, I mean, you got elevated to the active roster very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your very first interception was against Edmonton. Your very first
You see, it's
touchdown,
like poetic. It's poetic justice here.
Yeah, your first defensive touchdown also against Edmonton. So we are very glad that you're now on our side.
Yes.
That's the exciting part. But what do you remember about those moments, like the first interception, first touchdown, especially being that you've now you're on the bigger plane of the professional side?
I don't know. It just, for some reason, just like whenever I faced Edmonton, it was just like, energy was always great. I think the first interception was Labor Day, right?
Yeah,
In
sure
Calgary.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good game. I think Edmonton almost won that game.
It was close.
Yeah,
it
was a close game.
Yeah.
Even the rematch, I remember the rematch afterwards. That's the one I remember more than the first interception.
Okay.
Because in the rematch in Edmonton, I dropped the interception straight off my face. I went hands up, bing, straight off my face, flew up in the air. Device Daniels caught it, got a first down, and everyone looked at me like, "Metch, come on." I'm like, "No, I'll try it. There's nothing I can do about that one."
The best part of that is that we had the show going at that point, and we always finished the show by saying you can't catch footballs with your face. So as soon as that happened, I had like a ton of messages on Twitter like, can't catch footballs in your face, and I'm like, yeah, it's awfully close though.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna get it. So so beyond those moments, we talked about it, 3 Grey Cups. Do you have one of them that stands out for you the most?
I would say this last one, honestly. This last one definitely stood out the most, and it was mostly because I was able to have like more of my family there. Like the first one was in Edmonton, so again, just me being in Edmonton, just everything is just pulling me there. That one was cold. That one, what I remember most. It was cold. The ground was hard. Like, yeah, it wasn't fun, The second one was fun in Winnipeg. That one was exciting just because it was like, okay, new team, first time back home, making it to the championship, and it's like that one was fun. But this last one, I'd say, was by far the most rewarding one, I think, just because I've been with the team for a couple of years. I got to really get to know everyone like more, on a real personal level. And it's like, okay, like we missed it the year before and we finally made it back. It was in BC. BC is actually where like my family, I guess, the first place like my family had landed in Canada, because I got like some family in BC. Like when my dad first came to Canada, he went to BC for school, and my mom and my dad met out on the West Coast.
Oh, wow.
And so, it was just really sweet because I had like a lot of family. My brothers made it up for the game. Like my sister and her kids made it up. I had a lot of cousins at the game. And so it was just being able to like play in front of everyone.
Yeah.
It felt like a real full circle moment for me. And then, of course, winning was always beautiful. It was such a defense wins championships. We know that saying. And like our defense was playing lights out. It was really beautiful.
Which is awesome because most of you are here now, and we're quite happy about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I think you may have played with more players this coming year than guys who played Edmonton last year. So
that's fair. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of guys that went from blue to gold.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking about some of the big moments in the Grey Cup. Along those lines, tell us about your recent trip with WorldVision with the other CFL players.
Oh, honestly, that was one of the best trips of my life. Usually, like the guys joke around saying, like I spend my off seasons just, kind of just taking off, all around the world. But honestly, that trip was definitely probably the best trip I've taken, just because not just the experience we get through WorldVision, but just like how you connect with the people and experiencing like their culture, their way of life and everything. So for the people watching, we took a trip to Taveta, Kenya. It's a smaller region, if that's correct, in the southern part of Kenya, just at the border of Tanzania and Kenya, close to the base of Mount Kilimanjaro.
Wow. And
unfortunately, they are one of the regions in the world that still don't have easy access to water, electricity, and simple things that we kind of overlook sometimes. So the trip kind of was just about like bringing us down and getting us to be able to like connect and understand a day in the life of what these people go through. Right. But even so, like regardless of what they don't have, like just the people there and like the communities there are just they're always so happy, very, like it's just vibrant in every way. Like the colors, the music, just their personalities is just so full, so rich, and so happy. And it was like that experience just gave me such a great perspective on life, because it's like they don't focus on what they don't have, but rather what they do and what they could do with the day that they do, And so for everyone watching, if you ever want to go somewhere very beautiful, like scenic wise, rich in culture and everything, I would recommend Kenya. There's this one night that we were there. We were staying at the resort, and I think like we could see kind of like the lightning and the thunder was rolling in. But
Wow.
conveniently, there was like an elephant that had kind of walked kind of up to the resort also, and it was like a lone elephant kind of, you know, just trying to, I guess, make it through the night. There was a watering hole, but it was just like the scene of like the clouds turning like pink, you know, as the sun was
Wow.
setting, and that right behind it you kind of see the lightning and the sky lighting up purple with the lightning, and then there's just like this giant majestic creature right there. We're like, you only see the like these kind of scenes in movies, but like we
Yeah.
got to see it live, you know, right in front of us, and honestly very beautiful.
What an
Very cool.
experience.
Mhm.
That is so wild. I got to see some of your Instagram posts about it with a bunch of the kids doing the dances
Yeah.
and stuff, and I'm like, that is like, I can only imagine what that's like to be there live, like that. They're just so full of like you said, living in the moment, and
Mhm.
the dancing together just brings everybody together. Like, it looked really amazing to watch.
Yeah, yeah, it really was. Like the singing, the dancing, just like the warm welcome in which they like, you know, accepted us with. It was something like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just like, it was literally just like a warm hug, like, you know, the whole time. And not because the weather was, you know, nice and warm compared to what we got here, but it was, you know, everything about them.
Oh, that's outstanding. That's
Mhm.
amazing. Thank you for sharing all about that. I know we could probably delve into that a ton more, but I don't want to keep you too late, being that I know it's late out there. Superfan, is there some questions in the chat that we can bring up?
We do. We got a few questions coming there from
Perfect.
some of the fans that are watching. This one's from Kobe Godwin. He says, any words of wisdom for someone starting out in football and wanting to play defensive back? Asking for a friend.
Yes.
That friend
Yes.
might be Superfan Mike. Who knows?
Sounds like someone I know whose son just started football. But,
That's right.
But even so, like Kobe or your son, number one rule, which I think I was told, was see ball, get ball. That was it. That was it. No, but seriously, if you really love it and it's something that you want to do, just it's a tough truth to swallow. But if you really love it, you're gonna have to sacrifice. You know, there are sacrifices in which you're gonna have to make, and sometimes it's it might even be like spending time with your friends. You know, it might be spending time with like a fellow teammate, where it's like you're both kind of aiming down the same path. You both want to, you know, play football at the next level, but you got to understand that everyone's circumstances are different, you know,
Right.
and so you just got to be able to accept yours and embrace yours. Honestly, embrace your circumstances and use that as fuel and motivation. You know, there's many times where I'd have to wake up early at like 5 a.m. to go work out. Well, I was like, you know, like my friends and my teammates, they get to wake up at 8, but it was just kind of like my circumstances, you know. It was like,
Right.
I got to get it early because then I got to go to school, or like, you know, I got work after type of stuff. In terms of advice and wisdom for the position, I've always tried to pride myself on knowing the defense. The more wisdom you can absorb, the more knowledge you can soak up, the better you're going to be. Ask as many questions. Watch not just your position, watch every position. One thing I used to do, like even when like I first got in the league here, on like our away games, I would sit on the plane, just like across the aisle from the quarterbacks, just because like on the plane it's like you could read, but like a lot of people would watch film, so it's like whilst I'm watching film, like because I'm close to the quarterbacks, I could just be like, hey, what's he looking at, you know? So just absorb yourself in as much information as a defensive back, because we're probably the most handicapped position out on the field. You know, we got to do everything backwards, we got to react, and we got to do it fast, right? And then we always get chirped about catching and not being able to catch, but
Right.
don't listen to any of that. You
Yeah.
know, I always joke around and tell people I could do 2 or 3 things all at once. You know, I could run and catch, I could cover and catch, I could run and cover, but don't ask me to do all 3. I got a lot on my plate for a moment. You know what I mean? But no, like if you really love it, like give it everything. Give it everything, because you'll be so surprised. You blink your eyes, and in 4 years you're going to be starting university. You blink your eyes after that, you're going to be done university. So give it everything. and if you love it, don't let anyone, try to sway you from it. Just go ahead and have fun with it.
That is amazing advice.
Oh, that is awesome. Hey, speaking of that, just before we get to another fan question, I had another one that popped into my head. You talked about your brothers and your sister. Is it 2 brothers and a sister, or do you have more than that?
No, I have 3 brothers, an older sister, and then a younger sister.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, your younger brother got drafted into the NFL.
Yeah.
Do you take all the credit for teaching him how to be a good wide receiver because you're such a good DB?
Guys, come on. Who else would have taught him how to catch?
That's
what I
what
mean? It was like I spent my, my VC points into his hands. You know what I mean?
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what it was. Yeah.
Nah,
You're like, if the ball is
definitely
coming, don't let it go through your hands and hit your face. That's
I'll showing him what not to do. You know
That's
what I mean? And I think
That's
it
the
worked
best
out.
way
I
to
think he got the lesson, because once somebody, to the face, he was like, I don't want to look like that afterwards.
I gotta be a receiver. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Speaking of family, Kobe's also asking, how often do you get to see your brother play, and what are backyard fun games like?
Oh man! All right, we'll start with how often. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go see a game live this past season, but I usually try to make at least 1 or 2. Even though I don't see them live, I never miss a game. Even if I have a game at halftime, I'm opening my phone up and I'm looking at. I'm just quickly fast forward. Okay, he's in there. No, okay, yeah. How much time we got? Okay, got you. Come on. So I don't think ever since he started playing, I don't think I've ever missed a game. Thankfully. And if I do, on the flight home, I'll literally download the game, on the iPads and watch it, so that by the time I land, I can kind of text him, see how he felt the game was. And he does the same too. We're always talking football. We're always watching each other's game. And in terms of backyard fun, every chance we get, we'd be walking down the street together, after dinner, and we'd look at a light bulb and last one there's, last one's doing the dishes. Take off. No warm up, nothing, just take off. So it's always fun to have siblings to get to play with.
That is amazing. Okay. What else we got here? Leanne wants to know, what's the best gift you've ever received?
Oh, the best gift I've ever received. That's a good question. Huh. You know what? I'd have to say, it's a more sentimental gift. It was actually my grandma's rosary when she passed. They had gifted it to me because I was very close with my grandma, and so that was probably the best gift ever.
That's amazing. Personal gifts are the best for sure.
100%.
That's great. So you always have those memories now.
Always, it's always with me forever. Because when I was young, I'd always take her rosary, and use it, and so now I have it, and I get to look over it.
For sure. There we go. Leanne also says full body goosebumps. I have my grandma's rosary as well. That's
right.
Awesome. Okay. Yep.
Very special.
It is.
Leanne also says that Royce feels like if Vernon Adams Jr. and John Legend had a baby, and I'm here for it. Welcome to the Double E.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's fantastic.
What's funny, I actually crossed paths with John Legend at an airport in this off season.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's wild. Holy, you
Well,
really do
his
get
wife
around.
get you mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I was hoping his entourage kind of got it mixed up and took me with them.
Yeah. If only.
All right. Anyone else? Any other ones in?
I think that's it for right now.
That's it for right now. Okay,
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, Royce, we got a few quick hits for you here before we let you go. What do you like to do when you're not doing football things?
Hanging out with friends and family, honestly. I'm very much I guess a social butterfly in that aspect. I love spending time especially quality time, with the people around me. Just I don't know, growing up I've always had the mindset that the most precious human capital we have is time, right? And it'd be very unfortunate if I got older, or my friends and I got older, and I'm looking back like, man, I wish I got to spend more time with it. So as much as I can, I love to spend time with people around me.
That's awesome.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So they say food fuels the soul. So what is your favorite kind of food?
Guys, if it's edible, I'm there for it.
Nice.
If it's there, I love every type of food. And, I guess I'm really lucky because I'm born into like an Asian and an African, household. So it's like just the mix of every culture's food. And then, coming to Canada where it's like just a melting pot of everything. Yes. I love it all.
All of it.
Whenever you've been here before, is there a particular spot you've been to? You're like, oh, I got to go back there sometime.
Honestly, I've never really gotten to explore Edmonton's food scene.
Nice.
Usually because like we're like downtown, we're kind of just like just like the Cactus Club Earls and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like they want us off our feet. So usually I think it was the Cactus Club. I'm not sure which location it was, but it was somewhere downtown. And it was just like the ambience and everything of it. It was just like the people, the hospitality of it. I loved it. I'll definitely be back there. And if you guys ever have like any recommendations, shoot them my way. I always love to try new spots. I'm actually looking for, since I'm moving to Edmonton, I'm looking for food spots which I could frequent, become a regular and stuff.
Absolutely. And of course, unfortunately, you're going to be playing in the games, but if not, just come to Tailgate because we got you.
No, we'll figure a way, guys.
That's right. Fantastic. Okay. So if you could travel anywhere, and obviously you've done a lot of travel, so where would you go? What would be the next place you'd want to go?
Oh, that's tough. It depends. Depends how much time I have. If it's like a week or two, I'd want to go to, like, my brother and I, we've talked about visiting like Egypt.
Nice.
What's the country? Egypt, Jordan, and just like kind of that little area. We want to see that. If I had, let's say, like a year of free time, I'd like to try something crazy, like disappear into like the mountains in Tibet.
Nice.
Just like try it out, right? Like see what that's like. Maybe like find myself in like a Buddhist temple or something for a year.
Very cool.
I think I've like hit my current quota on like just laying around on a beach. I just want to like try to like absorb different cultures now. See what like that's all about. The little layover in Amsterdam was phenomenal. I'd actually love to go to Amsterdam and spend a couple of days just like going from Amsterdam to like London, or like just taking the train around, kind of seeing everything. So yeah, I got a lot on the list.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Those are all good picks. Those are all great picks.
Jordan's on my list for sure.
Right? Yeah, this is beautiful.
Petra.
Yeah. Wow. See, I can see what's going to happen at training camp. You guys are like, here, look at these travel tips I got.
That's right.
What kind of music do you like, and do you have a bucket list concert that you want to go to?
Bucket list concert. I'm gonna start with that.
Okay.
Don't judge me, but I don't think you could judge me because I think everyone's gonna agree. I'd love to experience like an Adele concert or something at least once.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. She's just like a generational type of talent, where it's like the music she makes is like very moving. I'd love to experience that. And in terms of music, I listen to everything, honestly. Like to the point that on game days, like people have like certain songs they gotta listen to certain playlists.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is literally like I might hear mall music. That's what I'm rolling with for the day. No, I'm serious. Like very like yeah, you can influence my mood easily with music. You can just drive by me playing something. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna listen to.
Yeah. You wake up with a song in your head, you got to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. And like that happens very often. I'll wake up and it's like, man, there's this one song playing in my head, and I'll just play it and let Spotify kind of, take it from there. Just like shuffle, random, whatever.
Go on a journey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So you can see obviously behind us, and even we can see behind you, there's some football memorabilia on there. Do you have a special piece of football memorabilia that means the most to you?
Yeah, actually, I got a couple here. I got them actually in reaching distance because
nice.
I'm packing, right? So
of course.
I gotta. So I think we all remember this one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, 2018.
Unfortunately, yes, we do. Yeah.
Yes.
It needs another brother.
Oh, it is nice though.
Look
I
at
will
that.
say
It
that. Like,
sparkles.
it does
Look
sparkle.
at that. It shines so beautifully. So this is my first one.
Yeah.
I think it was right there on that
Oof.
finger.
Oh, the size of that thing. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
And then the next one goes a little something like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh.
Look at
The
that.
sound effects are outstanding.
angels,
That's the best
yeah.
part. That's right. Yeah.
It's like angels are singing.
Yeah.
And that one goes right there.
Oh my.
man.
Look at that.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the new ones yet, but I
Yeah.
decided I was gonna put it there.
Yeah.
Fill
Oh,
up the
that's-
hand.
I think we need one for the pinky then, for sure.
Exactly. I think that's the topper right there.
I think we need
2025.
two, one for the pinky, one for the thumb, and then
One for the
that'll
thumb.
be good. Yeah. No, I mean, you did say you like green, so you should have green the most, really.
Yes.
I think. So
Right.
Yes.
Probably
I
three
think
then.
green here and here would really round it all off.
It would set it
That's
off
fair.
nicely.
I like
It
this.
would,
Yeah.
it would set it off beautifully.
It's all about balance.
Exactly.
That's-
Right? Like red and blue are cool and all, but like green is it's a warm, grounding color.
It really
right?
is.
See?
It's a very
Right.
earthy color.
That's. I like this. I can't. we're at first day of training camp. We're gonna be like, hey, how's the green? Yeah. Oh, Leanne asking what number is his jersey because I think I just found my new favorite player.
I think hopefully I'm gonna get to wear number 9 again. So
Okay.
Nice.
fingers
Fantastic.
crossed we'll see day 1 of training camp, but I'm about 90% sure it's gonna be number 9.
That is
Oh.
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. You talked about listening to music and things before a game. Do you have any other like pre-game rituals, or do you have things that you have to do before the game?
No, not really. Throughout like high school and college and stuff, like my ritual was always okay. Game day in the morning, like when I take a shower, I'd have to like wash my hair, make sure like I combed it out. It was just so like if like fingers, got caught, it didn't get caught in like a knot or something. So it's like, okay, let me make sure this is the one day I don't want to get pulled by my hair, right? So it was
Yes.
that, and I used to always have to like kind of like tie my lace a certain way, but as I got older, it's just become just throw it on, let's go. Let's go. It's like I don't know. I guess I've lost the patience. I just want to get to the game. That's like I skip all of that. No, I just want to get there.
That's fair. That's fair. So last one. Let's just give you an open mic to tell fans what they can expect this coming season. Seeing you out on the field with this defense.
I think they can expect a very, very like fun defense to watch. Just like not just myself, but a lot of the guys that are coming in this year, I think are going to be able to really complement the guys that are already in the locker room. Because I'm not gonna lie, last year playing Edmonton, I think Edmonton was one of like the most physical teams. Like it was definitely one of the most painful games I've played.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like so, I think this year like the fans can expect a very fun. Well, I'd say all around, but like I love to just talk about my unit, which is the defense. I think you expect a lot of that. I think we've got a lot of great additions, a lot of great guys of character, and I think we're honestly looking for ways in which we could include the crowd in our celebrations. So if people have any like ideas, like go ahead and like shoot them our way, like in the comments, in our DMs and stuff. We'd love to hear it because we would want to include the fans however we can
That's cool.
without getting
Ooh.
fined because
Yeah,
right.
sometimes, there are fines. I remember there was the players that kind of jumped in. It was like the family and friends section
In the Loge
doing a
section.
little-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
so hopefully we don't get that, but yeah, any way in which any ideas you guys got, shoot them our way. We'd love to like get everyone involved. We want to get like whether it's like some chants or like a celebration which everyone can do. We'd love to do.
Ooh, I love this.
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
love this.
The wheels
Oh,
are turning now.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, I have ideas. Okay, well, I'll just be shooting you some ideas there. That's perfect. Well, I've got to tell you, Royce, I remember when you started down south of us, and I remember when you were coming close to your first free agency, and I was like, please let him sign here. Please let him sign. And then you went to Toronto. I'm like, you had to go home. Okay, that's fine. But So I'm very excited that
Yeah.
you have now joined the team. Excited to see what you'll be able to do on the field with this group. And thank you again for coming on the pod. We just really appreciate getting to know you a little bit, and excited that we'll be able to see you in a few weeks in that proper shade of green. So tell everybody, where can they kind of follow you and interact with you on socials and that type of thing.
You follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is just my name, Royce.Metchi, or
Yeah.
Metchi-Yay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say it properly now, not put it out there. But that's definitely my primary and most used social media. I try to stay out like in off seasons, like I try to stay off, especially in the season. But that's really all I use. I have a Twitter, but I haven't really used it. It's just kind of been something like I created in high school, and it's still there. If you
Okay.
want to follow me there, go ahead. But if in being very transparent, I'm more active on Instagram than any. So
Yeah, totally. That many people are now, so totally get it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, appreciate all the time. Thank you once again for coming on. I guess we'll see you in just a few weeks
Yes.
out there on the field. We will be in the stands, so
At camp,
feel free to pop over and say hello. And we're excited to see you in the right shade and doing all the things that you do.
absolutely, I'm excited to see you guys. What was it, 13 days, right, or something like that?
18.
Something like 18. There we go.
18 days. Okay, 18 days, guys. T-minus 18 days. I can't wait to meet you.
Can't wait.
Also points for absolutely. Very good. Okay. That was great. Thanks for coming on, Royce. We will talk to you in a few weeks.
Thank
Thanks
you
a lot,
very
Royce.
much. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Take care.
It was absolutely exactly what I had expected, actually, because I had been told that he is just so great to chat with. And I think I agree with Leanne. I think I might number 9 might look good on
absolutely. He's listed on the website as number 9, so
perfect.
It's written in pencil already, if not pen.
I love it. It's fantastic. The more we can get guys that obviously good player but good character, you can see that when he's talking about the WorldVision trip and all those types of things. I'm just very excited to have those guys on the team. As Leanne says, oh my God, you guys, he's great. And I agree. So outstanding. Thank you very much, Royce Metchi-Yay. I want to make sure I learn how to say his name properly. So although I might just be Metchi-Yay from now on.
Well, he's basically like Metchi-Yay.
Yeah, exactly. Metchi-Yay. Yeah, that's right. All right, Superfan, are you ready for a little Horde and Tell?
I think I can manage, yeah.
All right, let's have at it.
La 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 la. It's time for Horde and Tell.
Woo!
Ooh, look, the hat is back.
The hat's on, yes, sir.
I tell you, the hat is back.
It's been a few weeks, so I got a few things that have come in, so I thought I'd show a couple of different categories there.
I'm excited.
Yeah, this one's got a couple of jerseys in. This is a fun one. Got the Radically Canadian patch on it.
Nice.
Number 30, and this is an Adidas jersey. The name bar has been removed. But it's from the year 2000.
2000. Nope.
Yeah, because 2000 we had the Radically Canadian. They changed the colors to red and white. They were green and red before. This, I really wish the name bar was on the back. This was worn by a linebacker by the name of Charles Assman.
Yeah.
I'm sure he pronounced it Asman, but everyone in the crowd always called him
Assman.
Something else. Right. Second one, same year, from the year 2000. So it does have that lovely Radically Canadian. This is the white jersey from that year.
Lovely.
It's a number 13, a lucky number.
Oh,
and
lucky.
Who would have wore 13? Friend of the podcast, Mr. Ricky
Walters. That is right.
Yes, that's a lovely game worn. And last but not least, for jerseys, another friend of the podcast. This is a little more recent, worn in a Grey Cup year.
Oh,
there we go. It's got some of these lovely patches as well.
Oh,
and it's number 53.
Oh, a Ryan King.
Snapping wins championships. So a
Wow.
few game warrants. I didn't have the whites in 2015 or 2000, so pretty glad to get those ones for sure.
Oh, that's
And then
awesome.
I've shown some of this stuff before. I do have some footballs here. This one was used in the Grey Cup 1980. It was actually signed because they had to have the general manager to sign the balls. They said they were inspected by Ralph Sazio, who was the Hamilton GM at the time. I also showed this one as well. And this one, it gets hard to tell, but it does say 1956 on it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Grey
I can
Cup.
kind of make that out. Yeah.
Grey Cup used ball. I got another one in just yesterday. This one was the 1973 Grey Cup used football.
Wow. That's
So,
cool.
Yeah. So they got the Jake Goddard signature on it. Yeah. Absolutely love getting another ball from a Grey Cup that we played in. That's the first one I've got that we've lost.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
we were still there. So, yeah. Absolutely thrilled to get that one to add to the collection.
That is so cool. So how do you find the
A lot of times they find me.
Okay.
Somebody just messages me and says, "Hey, I've got this. It was used in a Grey Cup, and it just isn't something I need anymore. So I wanted to go to a place that obviously would appreciate it." And as you can see by the everything behind me there.
What? You like collecting footballs? This is all brand new information.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my! Well, that was outstanding.
Got a lot of people. Leanne, of course, wasn't even born yet. Yeah, either was I. We're talking about the 56 ball, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I hope so.
Yeah, must be.
I think you were born for the other ones.
I was born for the other ones, and of course, referring to the first jersey I showed. Why would you take that name bar off?
I agree.
I mean, absolutely, it should be on there. Maybe I'll have to see if we can talk to somebody that can maybe hook me up with a proper name bar for that one. So,
well, you gotta have an ass man.
That's
right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's true.
It's like Jugs Man, but different.
Well, that's true. I didn't run the Jugs machine, so
that's right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, super fan. That was awesome as always. Let's get to some roster moves. So they have a few roster moves going on. These are mostly guys that are signing now that are going to be coming in for camp. And have some, some background stuff, but not household names as of yet.
But some of these guys do will make the team and release a prize. We've had a few in the past, especially in an Ed Herbie team, where these late guys that get signed, people just like, oh, they're, sort of camp guys. But some of these guys make the team, and guys like a Darrell Walker or Brandon Zilster or whatever come in surprise.
Only because I'm sure Kayla is still listening. Bryant Mitchell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wide receiver Jacob Copeland, who spent some time with the Steelers.
Yes.
Mike gets all excited.
I know.
Wide receiver CJ Hutton, defensive back Kalen Barnes. Now he had the third fastest 40 time in NFL Combine history since the electronic timing.
That's not so bad.
And he's a DB.
Well, I mean, so is Tyrell Ford, and he's pretty fast too. So
he is pretty fast.
You guys can do.
That's very true. DB Braxton Clark, cool name. Defensive lineman Tamari Fox, also a cool
name. Yeah.
Wide receiver Marshall Martin the fourth.
Isn't it Eminem? No,
Eminem. Well, we know his nickname for day
there we
go. Training camp. 6'2", 230 pounds.
Wow,
that's a good receiver.
Yeah.
He played a little bit at what's the position?
Tight end.
Thanks. Yeah, should have remembered that.
6'2", 230. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Ass man.
That's where I was gonna need the ass man.
Tight end. Yeah, exactly. Offensive lineman Grant Smith and offensive lineman Mark Evans II, who spent time with the Saints. So
a couple of big boys.
Cheering about that. So
so
we will see these guys in a few weeks and see what they see if any of these guys make the cut to be even on a practice roster, which then gets them elevated at some point. And next thing you know, then we all know who they are. So No big releases this week, so
Yeah.
nothing that we had to talk about that way. So I thought we would just touch on a little bit a draft
Yeah.
2025. So
Coming up.
that is 1 week from tonight
Mhm.
is the draft. Now the Elks, I mean, they wait, before I start, I gotta say thank you to the Canadian Football Fanatics
Yeah.
guys. They had a bunch of us come on and represent our different teams as the GM and do a 3-round mock draft. I picked offensive lineman Tiger Shanks because his name
Great
is
name.
friggin' cool, and he's also a monster that could play on an end, so that would be
Yep.
good. Not that I'm very happy with our offensive line where they are right now.
But
But
these are guys that develop into the next guys years down the road.
absolutely. And his name is completely escaping me. Brett Boyko. There it is.
Right.
He is the tackle on the right-hand side who is Canadian.
Yeah.
This is a guy that could possibly be learning from him and then
100%.
take over that role, right? So defensive back Delaney Robinson I took
Another
in
great
the
name.
third. Absolutely. And when I took that, there was a bunch of other GMs going at least on the show,
Right.
because he's got some speed, and again, a guy that could be learning from a guy like Tyrell Ford.
Nice. Yeah.
Also picked defensive back Eric Cumberbatch. He had
Strange.
a
Doctor
right?
Strange.
Correct. Also because I want a jersey that says Cumberbatch on
Right.
it, because that would be friggin' cool.
Yeah.
But I guess at the combine, he really stood out as a guy who had made a big step forward, and a bigger DB, so he'd be great on special teams. So those were some of the picks that I had in that. But doing that draft was just a great way to kind of learn about some of these guys.
Right.
And I don't know, Mike, where do you think we have 3 picks in the first 3
25,
rounds,
yeah.
but they all come in the second and third round. So
Right.
where do you think we are looking for? What are the parts that we need to have backups other than what I guess I already talked about? But
Yeah, I don't think that that's something that Ed ever really worried about. And I've talked to him before. He just talks about getting the best player, because these are guys that aren't necessarily going to be playing the first year or 2 or even 3. So
Right.
you don't know what you're going to need 2 or 3 years down the road. So you just take the best player that's available, and maybe they'll play for, maybe they'll be used to be, maybe they'll be traded the year down, or maybe he's going to trade up right in the draft.
Yes.
Package a couple of third rounders, or a third rounder and a second rounder to get a first rounder. But I mean, we're picking 10th overall. So that's really like the last round or last player in the first round, basically. So,
Yeah.
I think that, and that's only because Calgary got an extra pick thanks to BC cheating. Otherwise, we'd have a 9th overall pick.
Cheating.
Cheaters.
Hey, what do you think about that? Like the whole, I understand it's in place, and so Calgary gets the picks and all those kind of things, but how do you feel about that with the BC goes way over the cap, and so because Calgary finished last, they get all these bonus picks. What?
First time in 5 years that we haven't finished dead last, and that's the year that there's 2 extra picks.
Right?
I'm like, come on. We could have had 5 picks in the first 24.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's all right, though. You know what? It's always good to take care of the less fortunate.
Well done.
I'm just saying.
Well done.
I'm not a big fan either. I think they should be tacked on at the end, or
Yes.
you can't really omit the picks, just forfeit the picks, because
Right.
the CFLPA is not going to go for that, because that's 2 less players that are picked.
Yes.
But either it should maybe go to the 9th place team, and then the next one would be the 8th place team or something like that.
That's actually
maybe.
what I was thinking. Yeah, 9th and then 8th. At least it's spread out for the teams that struggled, right?
Yeah.
So that I could get behind, but yeah, all of them going to one team.
Yeah, it seems. It's
I guess they never
unfortunate, I
thought
think.
somebody would just blow the salary management system by that
Right.
much, but
They really
No,
wanted to make sure you don't do that, but and the worst
Right.
part is it really didn't do a lot for them. So
No. And Calgary's like, thanks very much. We sucked last year. Now we
Yep.
get extra draft picks. Great.
yep, we'll see how it works out.
Absolutely. I see likely a DB of some kind, and a defensive lineman of some kind, and possibly a wide receiver, just because we do tend to have a lot of Canadian wide receivers.
We have
And
4 offensive linemen out of 5.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So we need to make sure. Oh, I said defensive. I meant offensive lineman. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Just to make sure that we've got somebody in the ranks to move their way up. Right. So,
Yep.
we've already talked about our Canadian depth on this team for this year looks stunning. So
Up to 10 players when we only need 7.
right.
Starting. So, yeah.
So, yeah, we just need the guys that need to learn to take over those spots.
Yep.
So
yeah, or again, who knows? It could be just a different spot, right? Because if you've got extra Canadian starters, if one goes down, they can be replaced by an American.
That's
you
right.
do not need to back up in those spots because we have such a wealth of Canadian talent right now.
Absolutely. So it's kind of an interesting draft then, as you come into it and think, well, we can truly just pick the best guy and see what happens, right? So not the end of the world. Do you see the quarterbacks, Elgersma or
No.
Curtis Rourke, or who's the guy out of Montreal? Can't remember his name. Cliffy will correct me immediately, I'm sure, but I wonder if any of those quarterbacks go in the first couple of rounds. Do they take the shot? Does Calgary take the shot with the extra picks? Does Winnipeg take a shot?
That's
with
just
the
it.
Canadian pick?
When you've got a couple of extra picks, especially when you've got, 2 picks in the first round.
Right.
Oh, Cliffy says, there we are.
Senecal. There we go. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yep. Thank you, Cliffy.
Yeah, I could see someone like Calgary taking a shot at a Curtis Rourke.
Right.
You know?
Why wouldn't you? Right. I mean, you may not see him, but
yeah, BC isn't going to do it because let's be honest, they don't have enough picks.
Right. Not to mention they already have a Rourke. They don't want him.
Yeah, it's true, but it might be something he might want to. If he goes to Calgary, then you're going to see him a lot more. So I could see Calgary really pushing for it, but
yeah, maybe.
Will he ever be here? I doubt it.
Yeah, it's always tough to say, right? So,
that's going to be in your head all day.
Baby Rourke, do 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 do. Baby Rourke, do 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 do. I hope that whoever drafts him, they have that song queued up for us to, or whenever he comes here, that's the song that we sing when he comes out.
Exactly.
Awesome. We can work. Let's talk to Royce about working that into a celebration.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Every time he picks him off.
Yeah. Outstanding. I love it. It's fantastic. So with the draft next week, obviously we won't be doing a show, and I don't know if I'll actually be at the stadium for the draft or not. We'll see. We have been invited before, so we'll see what happens on this one. So we may be down there, and if we are, maybe we'll shoot a bit of a live thing when we're there or something. But otherwise, a little bit of a programming note, just because I am going on a wee trip. Our next show, as Leanne asked, will there be another pod before training camp starts? There will not. We will have the podcast will return on the Tuesday right after training camp starts. So we'll have a couple of days in that we'll have already been watching some of these guys and be able to talk about who's standing out. Mike, you and I both have that first week off, so we will be down at Commonwealth from the 11th straight through to the 19th. Right. Is it the 19th? Yeah, the 19th is the Monday. So we will be around for that. So come on down to training camp. Join us for some fun and games. Also, another teaser for if you don't have enough excitement already to join us because training camp is on. That's exciting. Enough. That is enough. But there might be a reveal of the tailgate menu.
That's true.
2025 tailgate menu reveal.
Oh, there's going to be some fun stuff on there.
Oh, I'm excited. So without further ado, as we're talking about tailgate, why don't we, well, it is time. We decided that every year we're going to change it up a little bit. So this was the tailgate from the logo from last year with the barbecue. And of course, you will remember that we had the fancy pins that you could get at the tailgate that you could only get at the tailgate. That's those. So this year, our new Turf District tailgate is and logo is now out, and we should see some merch with this fairly soon. So we are going this year to the cooler with the wonderful green and gold cans. So
Nice.
as I said that out loud, it's fantastic.
Nice. Yeah.
Correct. Nice. And we will have the return of the pins this year. So make sure that you head on down to the tailgate and grab your pin for 2025. You may have noticed with the pins that they do have the years on them. So they will be very specific so that you can only get them at the tailgate. So come on down and join us there. While we're talking about logos, Mike, you're going to be excited about this. Oh, shoot. Maddie just missed him. He was, don't worry. The best part is this saves on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it at any point. Yeah. But yeah, Matt O'Donnell is in Brazil, not getting a Brazil.
He's not Brazilian Matt.
No, he's not. He's in Brazil right now. So it's a great comment. But no. Hey, we were talking about logos, super fan. We have some new things in the store.
We do.
I think you might enjoy. You may have seen these, you may not have, but one of our latest editions, I love Hoard and Tell.
I do.
And especially in the classic Ringer t-shirt. Right?
It's me right here.
Right? Exactly. Look, 20% off with code April Savings right now. Jump on and grab your Turf District gear, including I Love Hoard and Tell, or if you just want to do something that is kind of retro-y like Mike and I, how about a Turf District pennant? You can get one of those too.
I might have a few pennants that would look great beside.
20% off with code April Savings.
Yeah, I can't beat that.
Jump on now, grab your Turf District stuff. Those are the two latest things that we have added into the store. They are available now. We also still have all of our If You Know, You Know shirts and the stuff, of course, from last year as well. So grab your Pride stuff before before June comes so that you're all prepared. And again, just use April Savings and get some deals right now. We will have some more merch slowly launching over the next little bit here as we will, we're rolling out some new things, including the new tailgate logo onto some merch right away. So what were you laughing about this time, Superfan? Oh, Matt O'Donnell. It can be two things. Okay, well, that's it can be two things. I think we're just gonna leave it at that. That's probably
there it is.
Yeah, I think it's probably safe to leave it right there. Oh my goodness, that was outstanding.
Why when you need him.
Thank you, Maddie, for bringing the last. Hey, while Matt's here, why don't we plug in less than 2 weeks?
Yes,
we are going to have the Wine Fest.
I can't wait.
Please go to www.eefootballalumni.ca. Grab your tickets for the Wine Fest. Always a fantastic time. Lots of great things to test out and drink, and also lots of great people to be hanging out, including Matt O'Donnell, David Beard. Who else did they say was coming? I can see his face, and I can't remember his name. Justin Sorensen. There we go. Yep. They will all be down there.
Off in there.
Yes.
Some of the older guys from the 2000s, the 90s, and even the 80s and 70s will be there.
Oh, fantastic. So
Jake Seresna.
Ed Jones, probably.
Yeah, probably Ed. Rod Conop's off in there. I mean, you never know who's going to show up.
Yeah. Mookie,
I will be watching. You never know.
Never know. Grab your tickets now. Go down to the Wine Fest. I do when we get into the next show here too, hopefully we'll have a few more of the theme nights, but I am just a moment here, absolutely excited about the Dino night returning.
Oh, that was so good.
It was so funny. It was
I hope the
so
cheer
much-
to do the first cheers in the
the
Dino
Dino
outfits.
outfits. Half
That
of
was
them,
incredible.
like deflate while they're the greatest thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, get your tickets for the Dino Day for sure.
Super great
and,
for the kids and the kid in all of us.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all love dinosaurs. Come on now. Let's go do that. Not live ones. Don't get me crazy.
No.
But,
We're already
fake
bringing
ones.
back dire wolves. We don't need to bring back any of the real ones.
Did nobody watch Jurassic Park? Like nobody
Literally got
learned the
6
lesson.
movies telling you not to do this.
Don't do this. The next one we're going to bring back is the woolly mammoth. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, all these movies showing that people just die when that happens. But
Well, I mean,
no.
at least there were woolly mammoths when the pyramids were being built. So they're not
guess,
that far back, but yeah.
Still, I don't know. It's like giving everything over to Copilot. It's like the start of Skynet. Here we go.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Make me into a plastic figure. Wait, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Yeah. Yeah.
Too late.
Telling you, it's all happening. We've watched all the movies. It's all coming to life. All right. Also, follow our good friends at Pay It Forward with Football as they continue to spread kindness, and they also have a charity event coming up the week after the Wine Fest. That is on May the 10th.
Yeah.
And make sure that you head out to do some bowling with them. And they always get some great people out, including some players and people from the team. So join there for tons of fun. Superfan, where does everybody find you on socials?
Well, you can find me at 56 Sparkies and the Edmonton Football History account at EDMHISTOREE on all of your social channels.
Wonderful. And follow our wonderful sister, Duchess Lombardi. That is one for Commissioner Kayla. You can follow me at Free Policious and, of course, the show at the Turf District on all of the different socials. Please do us a favor and throw a subscribe or a like or a comment or a review, any of those types of things. They help to grow the show. So if you could do that, we're looking on our YouTube page. We want to make sure that we're getting some a few more subscriptions and likes on there. Again, it just makes the show more, gives it a bit more exposure so that people can find and listen to great conversations like we had with Royce Metchi-Yay this evening. Thank you again to Royce for taking the time out of his busy schedule. Thank you again to Mike. Yeah, exactly. For helping to set it up. He was awesome. And before I forget to also check out the Chosen Family League Zazzle store. Grab your stuff there because any money from there helps to support CFL fans fight cancer. So we will be back, as it turns out, in 3 weeks. Although we may have a little blip after draft day next week. We'll see how that goes. I leave very, very early the following morning, so we'll have to see how that plays out. So really, what time do you have to be at the airport that day?
I don't know. Why I'm driving.
Oh, you're driving. Okay, yeah. I have to be at the airport at 4 a.m. with
not that early.
3 children, and
it's like living the dream.
It's gonna be a great trip. So excited. Yeah. Okay. Any fans that happen to watch this out in Halifax or PEI, please let me know. I'll say hello. Be out there anyway. So for Royce Metchi-Yay, Commissioner Kayla, and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you in 3 weeks.